Okay, it's a few days later. We're going to see what my glue job looked like here. So, take off all my clamps. And paper. Stuff don't want to come out again. Almost like somebody packed it in with a hammer handle. That looks good so far. It still smells like glue. Yeah, that's packing it pretty good. I think it's glued in there too. Appears it's glued. Even that's glued. Yeah, that sucked. That didn't go all the way down. It's a good thing the air goes this way. Damn. Here, hold the camera. It's a two-hand job. Yeah, I think it'll work. All right. Feels pretty flat. Yeah, looks like it did the job. It didn't do it right here because I have really no way of putting pressure down, but like I said, it's going to go in, the material goes in this way, so it's going the right direction to be screwed up. This actually stuck pretty good with the clamps on here, which is a good thing. So, alright. It looks like it might actually work. Yeah. Good. Gives me an excuse to put it together now. Alright, I'm going to have to clean this edge up a little bit along this edge, get this cut down a little bit, because it's slid up, so it's supposed to be all the way down here. I don't know why that wasn't down all the way, so, oh well. And let's see, this is up in the air. That means if I push this down, I should be able to push this down. And there it goes. There you go. Now this side sticks out too. What if that glue is still active? Doesn't feel like it. I think it dried. Oh well. Alright, I'm going to trim these surfaces off and we'll see how I put this together. Okay, we did some more work on this. So trimmed off the excess piece here with a pocket knife. So we got that cleared. Scraped out the, I burned it out a little bit and I scraped out the paper here, most of it. And then the contact cement we reheated up to a little bit under 150 degrees, 125, 150. And then I put clamps here and there and mix match stuff and different chunks of metal here and there to get these areas resealed flat. So now I got this one in there pretty flat. Got this sealed in on the edge, got that resealed in there and flat. Flatten this piece down here a little bit. Down along this edge, we sealed it. Got this over here, see where it's loose. So now it's pretty good. Not bad, ready to go together. I'm still waiting for my choke mechanism, so I can't just glue it together right now. So anyway, that's where we're at on this piece right now. So that was a big project. Glad it turned out. Okay, back here on the blaster, working back here too while we're waiting for this stuff here all to dry out. So, working on my hose fittings here. They gave me some rubbers here to use. So these are the first ones they sent me. This is the second one over here. And this is the original one that came out of it. So there's all three of them there. Each one's a little bit different. So this one here is a lot bigger than that one. And then of course this one's bigger than this one. So keep stepping up in size. But anyway, so these are worthless, can't use those. They sent me these washers to back them up. It's supposed to be backed up. Oops, there's one on there. The problem is they're too damn big. They're bigger than what the rubber is by a little bit, which looks good, but the problem is the nut does not fit. You can't put this in the nut. They're way too big to go in the nut. So these don't work. More junk. So anyway, this goes down over the hose here and screws right here, and it seals up the hole here, so it won't leak. So we already had this one here on there. So these fit on there pretty loose, so it's going to have to squeeze in to fit. These original ones going really tight, so they don't fit very well. They go in there real tight. So anyway, this just goes around there. Put it in the correct direction will help. You know, it goes over there like that. You just tighten that down, it squeezes it, and then eventually it gets it kind of pinched down against the hose, and that'll seal up the hole so it won't leak out of the machine. And it'll also seal it for vacuum so the machine will work correctly. So that'll make that work. Only problem is I keep losing these nuts. Lost another one. So I had 4 that were dirty. Now I'm down to 2. It's the same thing that goes on these stupid compliance fittings, so I stole one off of that I found. I'm short one again. I'm always short one. I don't know what's up with that. So I don't know. They keep growing legs and disappearing. I don't know where they're at. So I have to find out on those yet. Okay, next problem I got is I got to figure out on how I'm going to attach this to my nozzle. This is your blasting nozzle. So I found this at Home Depot. This is actually a straight pipe thread and not tapered. So you have to get that to go on that. And then this hose would go right onto this. Tighten it up, you're down the road. The only problem is that's not how it's made to be. So when you put this on, you're flowing through that little hole instead of that big hole. See the difference? So that'll make a big difference in how much suction you get through the hose to suck up the material into it, beads or sand or whatever you use to make it go through the nozzle to blast. Because what happens is the high pressure air comes through here, it sets up a vacuum back here in that chamber behind it. This is inside of that hole, and it draws a vacuum on this, and it sucks the material up from down here in the hopper down below down there. So that's how it works. Suction. So I didn't really want to strict that down. So what they do is they have this thing bored out to tissue paper thickness, and the hose actually goes down inside of it. This one obviously is not made that way, so it doesn't go inside of it. This is the old hose I had from 4 or 5 years ago. This is the new hose you buy. And of course it's a little bit smaller than this one, even though it's the same thing. Everything gets cheaper over the years. They make it thinner and thinner and thinner. So every 100 feet you gain another 20 or something. So taking 15, 20 thou off your OD. So these hoses, even though they're the same size, they're actually different sizes in the OD. Actually quite a bit different. So like most things, they cheat you. So I'm going to go ahead and take this hose, I'm going to bore this out and try to make that work. And then this nut here is what goes on here. And they gave me an O-ring that's laying around here someplace. There it is. Somehow that's supposed to seal it, but there's no room for the O-ring in the hose inside of here, because this is tight on the hose. This hose is not so tight. It still has, even on this hose, it's got some drag on the nut, so it doesn't fall off. This one here is tighter, which is like it's supposed to be. So basically this just goes in there and the hose slips in and just kind of lays in there. My nozzle in the old machine has a couple slits in it where it can compress a little bit. So when you hit on the inside of the taper, down inside the thread, way down underneath, it'll squeeze a little bit and tighten up against that. Basically goes in so tight you don't even need this thing, but anyway, that's how it works. So I'm gonna go play with this a little bit and see if I can not destroy it. Figure I'm gonna hold on to this. This goes in here, so maybe I'll put that back in there. Let's see with my seal. Just have this rubber seal in here. Seal up the thread. Like that. This here is a boron tip here. So anti-wear, because this outer surface will wear. This here takes a lot more abuse. The screws in. Look at that nice fitment in them threads. Look at those. Yeah, look at that fitment there. Yeah, the lowest common denominator for fitment of stuff. That way you can have a whole bunch of crap in here that still seals. So nobody makes stuff any good these days. Alright, that's it for now. I'll go play with that a little bit.